Hello, welcome back my friends, it's Natalie. First up, I'm going to apologise for this video because on two separate occasions I forgot to press play, but I decided to still post this video because I've never really seen anyone do like the khaki colour with, you know, like army khaki sort of thing in Copics. So I decided to go ahead and do that. So I've coloured my skin. I'm jumping up to my khaki. Now, is this strictly true? No, but I like how it turned out. With my lightest colour, which is BG90, I have sketched out some shapes. Those shapes doesn't matter because khaki really don't have, to me, any rhyme or rhythm to the shapes. Now, someone who has family or friends in the army may argue with that. I do not, so I'm just going off to get a rough idea of what it is. So I am using BG99 to start to sketch out my images, my shapes. I'm pretty much then going in with BG96, 93 to fill out my shapes. Now they do have a lighter area and a darker area. Again, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just sort of adding it down. I'm just really going to pretty much show you the D, but all the other letters are going to be basically exactly the same. So I'm going back through 2 times, colouring it in, and then I'm going to go over the whole lot in BG90. You could leave it this way if that's what you wanted. I felt like it was a little bit too light. There are some lighter khaki sort of prints, but I was going for a little bit darker image. So we're going to do a little bit of glazing. Copic markers are transparent, so you can sort of layer them up on top of each other and slightly change the colour tone by adding another colour over the top. So I'm going back through now sort of to try and add a little bit more, because when you go over it with the BG90, it really pulls it back. So we're adding that other layer to it to make it stand out this little bit more. I am going to go over the whole thing with a YG95 and then a YG95 and YG97. YG97 is going to be pretty much in that darker area, so underneath the D, to give it a little bit of shadow because it is a 3D image. I will come back and colour the inside of my D, but I coloured them all the same. So that is going to be my shape. I'm going to fix my blurring. So to make sure it worked, I did one off camera. I'm going to go through the whole lot. So this is YG95. I'm going over the whole image. Going back in with the YG97, as I said, to darken those shadows just that little bit more, and this gets it to a much nicer, see, I forgot the D, the middle of the D on this one as well, but I will come back to it, I swear. It provides a much nicer, what I think to be a khaki, that's what we call it here in Australia, I don't know, but a khaki colour tone. As I said, it is a darker khaki, there is some lighter ones, but that's what we're going in for. On his beard, let's talk about his beard because you're not going to see it. I am using E79, E44 and E43. Using flicking motions just to the darkest colour right in the centre there and underneath his moustache. For his hat here, we're using B37, B06 and B02. I find that there is quite a bit of a jump between these two colours. We've got the really dark B37 coming down to a much brighter B06. So we're going to do a little bit of tip to tip technique, a little bit of tip to tip action, where you touch the lighter color onto the darker color, as you can see there, and it gives you an in-between color to help blend all those tones and all the colors and everything else in. Sorry if you can hear my son in the background there, but he's yelling. But you know, he's having fun, so what can you do? It's at least he's having fun, so that's good. So I'm going back through and just filling in my B02. I do tend to leave a little bit of an area for like a third color, so to speak, a fourth color, so to speak. I like the idea of this. I like the technique. I tend to color not quite the same as a lot of people do, but my answer to that is that you find what works for you. If this is what works for you, perfect. If coloring the whole image with your lightest color works and then working out to your darkest, that works for you, go for it. Rock your socks. Okay, so with my ground, I have, and my ground and my little bit of top there, you can see just where his hand is. I have used YG17, YG03 and YG01, and I have done flicking motions going out. Underneath him, I've got the darkness. They're the main two things, like his beard and hit the ground, that I forgot to press record. What can I say? Flicking motion, so I've got a little bit with the with love. These images, I didn't even say it. These images are from Polkadoodle Crafts. They are digital images. I will leave a link down below over to my blog and you can check out all their adorable images. This particular one comes without the dad and with, obviously, but quite often they have a colored image and non-colored image, just let you know. So let's jump to the beer mugs. So my beer mugs are a slightly different color. We've got B06, B02 and B00. I have used the markings on the beer mug, like little, almost like scales really, aren't they? To give a little bit of definition and a little bit of interest to my mugs, my beer mugs. His feet, his shoes, I should say, are R46, R24, R05, and R05, sorry. I lost place where I was. But over the top, on the base of his feet, I have gone over with a W3. This sort of gives it a little bit, well, it's shoes. They should be a little bit dirty. You could even go a little bit darker with that. But I was quite happy with my W3 on the base of my feet. Just going over my mugs, make sure I've got a definition without it being too strong contrast, which it quite is. For my froth, I'm just going to use W5, W3 and W1. I am still going to have white areas in my froth because beer has white areas. So, you know, that's where we're going to go with it. That's my thought. Anyway, you do you, boo. So this is going to be a Father's Day. So over on the Choosy Challenge blog, all the design team have been given the challenge of a Father's Day card. Now, anything goes for you guys. Anything goes. But sometimes, you know, you're stuck for a card. So every week we have a different theme. And then we have it added. So this was Father's Day, but I had the added challenge that I could do of bright colors. So that's what we chose. These are not sort of quite my colors that I've done. This is a piece of cardstock that is 10 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters. So it has a little tiny border around it. I'm just going over the edges with the twisted citron, and I'm going to use a paper rose die, the wonky stitches inside and out. And I'm going to sort of scatter around. Now it is a die. You could use a rubber mat and emboss it, but I wanted a little bit deeper. So I just went, you know what, it's easy, it was on my desk, let's go with the flow. So I'm going to sticky tape all those down and just go over it again, and this time it stayed in it really well, and just sticky tape those down. The center of it has a little bit of a mishmash, but I'm not worried about that because, as you can see, my little gorgeous gnome is going to sit in the middle. I have just used some old Stampin' Up cardstock. I think I used Tempting Turquoise and Granny Apples, that's what it was. And he's going to be a little bit kitty wampus. I thought to get some enamel dots. Now I did have, and I've got it right in my hand, some Ranger enamel accents, but I think because I haven't used it for so long, it's separated a little bit. So I was trying to get it going. So that did not work. I have some waffle flower little clear and opaque enamel dots here, and I'm using a dark color. So we've got B39 to color my enamel dots. You need a dark color. I honestly do not think I'm going to be buying any. This is a personal choice. You can do what you want. I think I'm just going to color my enamel dots and my gems and everything else, because I quite like the texture that you get on it. I quite like that you can alter them to please yourself. But that is, I also, don't get me wrong, I also love my multicolored enamel dots and everything else. I just don't tend to use them, and that's a me thing. So that is pretty much a card. I've just got a little bit of glossy accents on my froth, my beer. And that's my card for today. I will leave a link down below, as I said, to my blog. Again, I do apologize that you've missed some of the coloring, but I really wanted to get that Khaki video part done. So that's it. That's my card. I hope you're well. Have a great day. Bye-bye.